You slept 8 hours last night. You did not run a marathon. You did not solve any great problem. And yet, by the middle of the afternoon, your brain feels like it is wading through wet sand. You are exhausted, and you did nothing to earn it. So you blame yourself. You think you're lazy, undisciplined, that something is wrong with you. But what if the tiredness is not a flaw in you at all? What if it is the predictable result of asking a very old machine to do something it was never built to do? Because the truth is, your brain is not broken. It is overwhelmed. And once you see why, you will stop blaming yourself, and you will finally understand the strange, bone-deep tiredness that no amount of sleep seems to fix. Start with a number that should stop you cold. Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but it burns around 20% of your energy. It is by far the most expensive organ you own. It runs hot, it runs constantly, and it never fully shuts off, not even while you sleep. For almost all of human history, that hungry brain lived in a quiet world. Your ancestors woke with the sun. They saw maybe a few dozen people in their entire lives. The information coming at them was slow, simple, and local. A rustle in the grass, the weather, the mood of the person beside them. Their brain had time to process each thing, finish with it, and rest. Now look at the world you have dropped that exact same brain into. From the second you wake, the flood begins. You reach for your phone before your feet hit the floor, and instantly you are processing hundreds of fragments. Messages, headlines, faces of strangers, crises on the other side of the planet, opinions, adverts, a constant, endless stream of things your brain feels it must evaluate. And it tries. That is the problem. It tries to process all of it. Your brain does something quietly heroic that almost no one thinks about. Every waking second, it is filtering. It screens out the hum of the air conditioner, the feeling of your clothes on your skin, the noise in the background, so you can focus on what matters. This filtering feels like nothing. It feels effortless, but it is not. It is constant, demanding work, and it runs on the same limited battery as everything else. A psychologist would call this your processing capacity, and the key fact about it is brutal. It is finite. You only get so much, and the modern world is designed deliberately to drain it as fast as possible. Think about what your phone actually is. It is a machine engineered by some of the smartest people alive for one purpose: to capture and hold your attention. Every notification is a tiny demand. Every time you switch from one app to another, your brain pays a hidden tax, dragging your focus from one place and reassembling it somewhere else. You do this hundreds of times a day. Each switch is small, but they add up into an enormous, invisible weight. This is the part that matters most, so sit with it. You're not tired because you did too little. You are tired because your brain has been sprinting all day without you noticing. It has been processing, filtering, switching, evaluating from the moment you woke up, and it never got a single moment of true rest. The exhaustion is real. You earned every bit of it. You just earned it in a way the world refuses to call work. There is a name for the state this leaves you in. You have felt it. The mental cloudiness. The thoughts that will not line up. The simple decision that suddenly feels impossible. People call it brain fog, and they treat it as a personal failing. But researchers who study mental fatigue describe it as something else entirely. When the brain is overloaded for too long, it starts conserving resources. It quietly shuts down the most expensive functions. First, deep focus, creativity, flexible thinking to protect itself. The fog is not weakness. It is your brain pulling back to survive. And here is the cruelest trick of all. When you finally feel that exhaustion, what do you reach for? The phone. Again, you collapse onto the couch and you scroll because it feels like rest. But it's not rest. It is just more input. You are handing your depleted brain another flood of fragments to process and calling it relaxation. It is like trying to put out a fire with a bucket of petrol. You feel like you're resting while your brain quietly runs itself further into the ground. So what does your brain actually need? The opposite of everything the modern world offers. Not more stimulation. Less. It needs silence. It needs boredom, the real, uncomfortable kind, where nothing is happening and nothing is buzzing. It needs a walk with no podcast in your ears. A few minutes of staring at nothing. Time where the filtering can finally stop, and the processing can catch up, and the battery can begin to refill. This is why the people who feel sharp and rested are almost never the ones consuming the most. They are the ones who protect the quiet, who let themselves be bored, who understand that an empty, silent moment is not wasted time. It is maintenance. It is the only thing that actually recharges the machine. So the next time the afternoon hits and that heavy fog rolls in and you reach for your phone to feel something, stop. Do not blame yourself. Do not call yourself lazy. Remember what is really happening. You're not weak. You're not broken. You are a creature with an ancient brain built for a quiet world, drowning in a loud one. Your tiredness was never a character flaw. It was a signal. Your brain has been screaming all day for the one thing the modern world has made almost impossible to find. Not more, less, quiet, and unlike almost everything else draining you, that is something you can still choose to give it.